participate in this one. But from Friday, it's only gonna be for only from Friday it's only gonna be for those who have made payment and those who have signed up. So for those who have not signed up, who have not secured their spot, and they're here today, definitely they will get a lot of value. And we do hope that at least that would prove to them that this is real. We are not trying to take your money and run away with it. This is very real, and we hope that they will see the value that we gain for being here. So, Coach Payme, let me quickly message Coach Payme, Coach Payme Oyelan. So, here is the way we often begin, friends. Here is the way we often begin. So, here is the way we often begin. Um, I can see some of you on the call, okay? So you are going to tell us your name, tell us a bit about yourself, and then tell us exactly what you want to gain from this masterclass. Just tell us a bit about yourself, then tell us why you were super excited to be here. Let's start all the way from Ghana. I like international relations a lot. So, a friend from Ghana, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Is it Makafiu? Makafui? I don't know. You can help me. Well, I'm talking to you. Masterful speaker Makafui. Are you there? Okay. Looks like she is not hearing me. Let us go to Joseph. Joseph. Masterful speaker Joseph. Unmute yourself and address the house and tell us exactly why you are super excited to be here.
Hello.
Okay, it's like we've got Makafui. Just as you can wait a moment, go ahead, Makafui. Yeah, are you there, Makafui? Looks like there is a network challenge over there. Maybe there is a lag. Okay, so let's turn over then to Joseph. Joseph, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Joseph. Everyone engage in the chat section and say good evening.
Yeah, I'm Justice Adewara, and I'm a graduating student of University of Illinois. I am into professional people, word performance, writing, and creative writing. I hope to learn how to speak masterfully from this master class to improve my communication skills and be more confident a person that I do in communication with people. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's awesome, Joseph. Joseph, after this masterclass, what do you hope that you will start doing with your life? Like, what do you want to use public speaking to do ultimately?
After this master class, I do hope I gain mastery in communication, like interpersonal communication. I get mastery of communication. Like I'm confident in expressing myself. In any forum I find myself and talking about public speaking, I can not necessarily on stage, but I can speak anywhere I find myself and be able to communicate my arts and express myself wherever I find myself.
Oh, great, great, great to know that. Okay, let me just say this. Like, it's amazing. We're having fantastic people on the call this evening, and I'm super excited myself. Joseph had just spoken to us. We have some of our associate trainers and members of our team from the Friendship Leadership Institute and the Masterful Speakers Network here tonight. It's such a blessing to really have them around, and I'm just excited. You can imagine how excited I am about that. So I am gonna. Oh my God, she's run away. Okay, yeah, Precious Adeolu, the tenacious Precious. I wanted to turn it over to her to welcome the new cohort of the Masterful Speakers Masterclass. So, are you there, tenacious Precious? Tell us what you do. Tell us what has happened to your life since after you took the training very long time ago, and I know it wasn't only the training; it was because you really were driven by yourself, okay, and you're doing some amazing things now with your life. Would you like to share with these are masterful speakers to encourage them? Are you there, tenacious Precious? Over to you now.
Okay, yes, I'm here, sir. I'm here, coach.
Awesome, tenacious Precious.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everybody. So nice to have you here. I'm very sure that you're going to get value at the end of this training. So I am Tenacious Precious, and I'm a public speaker, a content creator, a video content creator to be specific, and a YouTuber. So basically, I create content on YouTube. I'm really, really passionate about helping people communicate effectively and assertively so that they can connect with other people and stand out in conversation. So I'm really passionate about communication, public speaking skills, and your social skills. And when I joined this class, I think it was March cohort I joined last year. She said, okay, it was this year.
Last year.
Sorry. So it was last year. It was a very, very, very this was actually my first time of attending a paid public speaking class. I was like, okay, let me just try and see that I'll get value. And at the end of the class, I actually got value. I was so surprised by things I learned, and I was able to implement those things. In fact, the class is not the best part of it. I think the community is actually the best part of it. Coach JV started something that really helped me. He started doing
Video Sundays.
Sunday video, right?
Video Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, sorry. So you post a video Sunday, and I was like, okay, let me try this. That time, David was on my neck. I was saying that, okay, wants me to post a video. I was like, okay, because my coach is telling me to post, let me just post this video. So I practiced and I posted my first video. And it was at that moment I discovered that I actually enjoy doing things like this, and that's what bettered my brand. That's what I was able to start. I started posting videos on my Instagram. My Instagram followers grew. Even my reach grew, and now I've been invited to speak in different on different platforms that I thought I would never be able to speak. So this was like a this was a very, very good foundation for me, I must say. Like, I say this boldly anyway, that if I did not join the Masterful Speakers Network, I don't think that it how are you doing? What's up with your brand? Like, it's really, really helpful. So I know that you will definitely, like, mark my words, you will definitely get value if you are really ready to learn and put in work. Because, knowledge is, no people say knowledge is key, but it's the application of knowledge. That's what matters, not just having the knowledge alone. So I want to employ everybody here to actually implement every single thing that you are told to do, every single thing that you learn, implement it aggressively, like your life depends on it. And I'm sure that you'll be on your way to being the masterful speaker that you are. Thank you.
Didn't you just feel the fire over there? Like, that was masterful. If you agree with me, say that was masterful. If you agree with me, just type masterful. Like, that was really masterful. Yeah, that's fire. That's the only way to describe Tenacious Precious. Don't worry, when you get into the network, you will get to know Tenacious Precious the more, because we celebrate her videos, amazing resources that she's made. And some of those resources, how to kill it on camera, you guys are going to learn from Tenacious Precious. She has a beautiful video on that, one you can relate with. It's not like what you see on YouTube. This is somebody who is young, who is fresh, who is fiery, who keeps it real, and definitely you can learn a lot from her. And maybe one of these days you can invite her to come and speak at your conference. And that's the beauty of being in this network. You can invite people within here to come and speak, and you know they're going to deliver a lot of value. Okay, so let me see the people I have on the call this evening. We're going to have one of our trainers, our associate trainers this evening. She would take us through some introductory tips for you to master public speaking. Just so that you can gain the very best from this coaching class. Now, let me get back to those of you who are just joining. Ademola Oduola, would you talk to us a bit about why you are interested in the Masterful Speakers Masterclass? How did you even get to know about the Masterful Speakers Masterclass? And what made you to finally sign up? So, are you there, Ademola? I can see your chat, friends. That's wonderful. Thank you. I love the engagement over there. Is Ademola there? Uh-oh, Ademola is not here. Okay, I would like to pass the virtual microphone to Geoffrey Smart, Masterful Speaker Geoffrey Smart from June 2021, which was folded into July 2021. All right, over to you, Masterful Speaker Geoffrey. Are you there? Oh. Is Masterful Speaker Geoffrey over there? Looks like the network is dealing with you guys this evening. Okay. Masterful Speaker Happy. Masterful Speaker Happy.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. And I can imagine that Masterful Speaker Adebisi Mutiat must be happy right now because Masterful Speaker Happy is here.
Yeah, Muti. It's good. I'm really happy being here. Really, really happy. Super excited. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
Yeah, Masterful Speaker Joshua Oluwatoba, please, could you take over for me? I'll be back very soon. I want to check what's wrong with my gen. Okay? Masterful Speaker Joshua Oluwatoba, are you there? Or anyone around here, if Masterful Speaker Joshua isn't able to take over, okay? So you guys just keep moving on. I'll be right with you very soon.
Hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. All right. I think before Coach left, Masterful Speaker Happy was speaking. Masterful Speaker Happy, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here, sir.
All right. So, how do you feel being on board for the Masterful Speakers coaching on public speaking? How do you feel really?
Can you repeat the question, sir? I didn't hear you due to the network.
All right, I'll take it again. I asked that how do you feel in gathering of Masterful speakers? Presently, we have 16 of them. How do you feel being in the Masterful Speakers network? And what are your plans after the training as well?
Oh, yes, I'm really, really excited being in the Masterful Speakers training because this is actually an opportunity for us to meet different speakers, different people from different backgrounds, different people from with different ideas, different minds, people who think differently. So it gives me this opportunity to want to learn from these people. So it gives me a platform to want to know more from these people. And a lot of speakers, a lot of trainers are going to be having. I am super excited, really, really excited to learn a lot from them. A lot of them are here, and I really, really want to learn a lot from them. So I believe this month of speakers training is going to give me an opportunity to be a better version of and what I can do is after the month of check of today.
Wow, someone is pumped up. I said someone is pumped up already. I love that. Even from the way you speak, at the end of the training, I am just trying to imagine how masterful you are going to speak, and not just speaking masterfully now, speaking with so much confidence. I must say we are glad to have you here.
The pleasure is mine, sir.
Yeah,
Welcome back, coach.
thank you so much. Most masterful speaker Joshua A. Oluwatoba. Let me just maybe turn it over to you, most masterful speaker Joshua. Would you like to share with our masterful speakers some of the things that have happened to you as a result of doing the practice exercises, and just going through the rigorous aspect of this whole thing? What was it like for you, and how did you finally emerge as the most masterful speaker?
Okay, to begin with, I would say the three principles you gave us when we started on how to be a masterful speaker. They were the foundation on which I built on. And the first one was, as masterful speakers, we need to be deeply thinking. We need to be frankly speaking and audience lifting. So in my practice videos, of course, it's called the practice video, but then as masterful speakers, you told us we're not just ordinary speakers. So as masterful speakers, our contents were expected to be rich, so to say. So I thought deeply on how to come up with my content, and also I had to speak frankly. And of course, if one can be deeply thinking, frankly speaking, the end result of it all is going to be one having an audience. One having an audience that will be lifted at the end of the speech. So, what I did was, just like everyone now, everyone must have gone through the training. This is not to scare anyone or to put you off your feet, but then it is going to be, should I call it a rigorous exercise? But it is definitely going to be one that's going to be worth it, because you would have time to learn from foreign speakers, not just Nigeria now. I think a larger percentage of people who are here from Nigeria. So don't think you'll just be learning from Coach David and other Nigerian coaches. You'll be learning from people from Canada, USA, South Africa, Ghana, and other countries like that. So while I enrolled in February 2021, that was some months ago, let's say about 4 months ago, one thing I was interested in was, I've been a writer before, so I wanted to complement writing with speaking. And at the end of the training, I've observed, even from, there was something I was intentional about. At the end of the training, I said I was not going to chat alone, I was not going to type alone. So I wanted to send voice notes to develop the way I speak. And since then, I've been speaking, not just masterfully, just like I told Masterful Speaker Happy now, I've been speaking with confidence. So at the end of the training, before the end of the training itself, or let me say in the course of the training, there should be a goal you have. What do you want to do while on the training? And that is going to help you with your practice videos, because there are going to be 3 practice videos, and the last one is going to be your entry for the Masterful Speaker Challenge. So you should have a goal while you are on the training and what you'd like to do at the end of the training. And at the end of the training, for me, a day after I call it convocation or graduation now, a day after I got my first live speaking engagement on the Facebook Live, and by God's grace, I spoke, and it was a success. Also, I got an invitation to speak live. This was not going to be on Facebook, Instagram. It was going to be one-on-one, and it was going to be even in another state, but for some reasons, it did not. They had to, so we still had it online. But some of it all is, by the virtue of taking this training, there are opportunities, or let me put it more precisely now, there are going to be open doors, and that is if you put out yourself there. If you put yourself out there, rather, in the first practice video, that's where you're going to tell the world. You're not just going to tell your WhatsApp friends or your Facebook friends. You're going to tell the world who you are, what you do, what makes you come alive. So overall, the experience was so awesome. Or just like I tell most times, it was amazing. That's awesome and amazing.
Wow, thank you so much, most masterful speaker Joshua A. Oluwatoba. And I want to let you guys know that the beautiful thing is, if you are here, you don't need to start chasing for courses that you want to take after this training. For example, most masterful speaker Joshua A. Oluwatoba actually has a smartphone maximization bootcamp that you can take, and I would recommend it. I was able to take one, and even though I was very busy, I still learned a lot. Even though I had not really implemented some of the things I learned from him, I got very aware so that whenever I would need those things, and some of you might even need those things more immediately than myself because I work with a large team of people. So in a sense, there is a way in which I could actually get people to do some of these things for me. But some of you, you're just starting out, you might have to do many of these things by yourself. So if you could learn smartphone maximization, oh my, it will be awesome. And I'm sure that he's going to come up with that very soon. It's always very affordable. You can actually sign up immediately after this training. That will be one of the skill for you to learn. And we have diction coaches who are coming to train you guys. After the training, you can actually go ahead and focus on improving your diction and many other things that you will gain from here. In fact, I can remember that one of our masterful speakers actually booked a sort of coaching session with Leon. Leon is going to come and train us. He's from Canada. He's a French speaking Canadian, but he can speak English. So he's going to come around and he's going to train us. We have LeBron from the United States of America. We have Pun from South Africa. We have amazing people are coming. It's going to be fantastic. And here is something we can assure you of. All the speakers we are going to bring to this platform, they will be masterful. That's one thing we can assure you of. The quality of speakers we'll bring to this platform is very high. So just get ready and let your mind be blown up. And again, we are not going to condone passive participation. So that's why we have made it real time, real life. So we want you to participate as actively as possible, ask questions, make contributions. You know, if there is any sort of feedback that you think is very important to help us to improve the experience that you get here, let us know. As I often tell the Masterful speakers who have taken the training in the past, or who are currently in the Masterful Speakers Network and are now speaking masterfully, and we keep supporting each other, you know, I often tell them, you see, this training, no matter how much value we give to you in a lecture, that's only 20%. But the other 80% of value we attach to the questions that you ask, to the challenges that you present all the coaches, so that we can deal with those things together. So do not be shy. This is a place where everybody is seeking improvement and growth, and we are holding each other by the hand. And as one of my friends, Israel Peters, once said, he said, let us hold ourselves together and run towards the goal, because we are unstoppable when we move as a team. And we have with us this evening Masterful speaker Nas Omowumi Fadairo, who is going to be taking us into a sort of introduction about how that you can gain the very best from this Masterful Speakers Masterclass. So I want to confirm if Masterful speaker Omowumi Fadairo is still here. So Masterful speaker Omowumi Fadairo, are you still here? Oh, unmute yourself. We can see your face so well.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm so grateful for the yeah. Thank you so much. Please, can you give me 2 minutes?
Okay.
2 minutes.
No worries at all. We can give you 2 minutes and we are going to start hearing from you. Now, there is somebody I want to hear from before Masterful speaker Omowumi Fadairo comes up.
So, if I want to share.
Okay. So, I have a friend here. I have Masterful speaker. Now, you are going to be called Masterful speaker from this day forward. So it's not until you get certified But from this day forward, you are a masterful speaker. So, masterful speaker Bolowatife Deborah. Masterful speaker Bolowatife Deborah. I know she wasn't expecting this, but yeah, you're a masterful speaker. You should be expecting anything. So, masterful speaker Bolowatife Deborah. I know she's in the bus. So, masterful speaker Bolowatife Deborah. At least, would you let us hear your voice? So, you're welcome. Are you there, masterful speaker Bolowatife Deborah? We can hear. Oh my, no, not good. Okay, now there's someone I've not called over here. Okay, Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo is sharing a screen. Okay, we can see your screen. Oh, I'm not sure we can see our screen. So, Masterful Speakers, let me just say this. And I really want to appreciate Masterful Speaker Mutiat for the amazing work she does. You know, I like the way she takes the photos. I love the way she updates the people in the chat room. We have started, we are live, thumbs up, Masterful Speaker Muti. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Okay, Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo, you're on mute. Okay, now let's get you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. In fact, the phone I was using has been misbehaving. Then I got a new phone. I was about sharing my screen when that one also went off. So now I'm back to the former phone.
Hey, sorry about that. So
yeah, so I will not be able to share the screen because any little manipulation I do now can make the phone to go off. So I'm so sorry about that.
No worries. We can just interact with you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here today. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Unmute yourself and say welcome, Masterful Speaker Omowumi. Just unmute yourselves. Let us all do that. Welcome. Yeah.
Good evening. Thank you so much. The most masterful. Good evening. Welcome. Yeah, good evening. Welcome. Good evening. Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you so much. I think we should get right in. So, I welcome everyone in today's program. I count it as a great privilege to be here, and I also want to reassure everyone that this is the best place that you should be right now. I mean, this is the best place that you need to be on to kickstart your journey, your public speaking journey. And it's not just because of the training we're going to give you. Just like I know Coach David would have said that to you. We are going to hold your hands until you're able to do this thing on your own and you're able to do it big. Even when you're already doing it big, there's somewhere at the background also sharing you on. So there's no point at any time where you're going to be alone. Coach David, is everything okay with my voice over here?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So at every point in your journey, you're going to find us somewhere by your side. So this is the best place that you can be right now. So I just want to tell you some things that you need to know about public speaking. And some of these things were the things that actually helped me to sustain my influence, to sustain my message, and to go going outward. So I want to tell you that public speaking is one of the most important skill in this 21st century, because many people just say, oh, I'm not a public speaker. Why? Because I'm not certified. Maybe I'm not a big influencer. I'm not been called to speak at any occasion. Even if you have just one person in your circle of influence, you would at one point or the other engage the public speaking skill. Even if you are there were times that people feel if you are in the sciences, if you are a nurse or a doctor, you don't need the public speaking. No matter your chosen career, no matter your field of influence, you would need to actually communicate with other people. You will need to, make decisions in the other people. You need to share your thoughts and then lend your voice as a change agent that you are in this 21st century. So public speaking provides you with the opportunity to inform others, to inspire them, and to actually bring about a change in the world that you live in. Like, I thought to myself, this world is full of a lot of challenges, a lot of problems, that it is you and I that has the solution to those problems. It is you and I. Nobody will come from another planet to come and solve the problem of man. It is we that can solve our own problems. So what then you need is public speaking to be able to engage other people, to be able to exert your influence on other people. So if you're not, going to be able to speak out, what is the use of having a solution that you cannot express to other people, that you cannot bring people to know what you actually know? And you can only achieve this with public speaking. That's to tell you how important public speaking is as a skill. So another thing I want to tell you is for you to be able to achieve all of these things that I've said, it is important that you must be a leader. It's a leader that can bring about a change. An ordinary person would just say, oh, I just want to say my own, I want to just show my face, I just want to be heard. No. But a leader would say, I want to cause a change. I want to drive a change. I want to cause a revolution. I want to make an impact. I want to inspire others. That's what a leader would think. So everything that a leader is going to be saying via these public speaking, platforms, the leader would see his or her word as a seed that can actually inspire change in the life of others, that can reshape the world, that can cause a revolution in the world that we live in. So I don't want you to see yourself any longer as, oh, I just want to know how to talk to people. I used to be shy. I want to be bold. It goes beyond, I want to just be bold. But to see yourself as someone that has a message for the world, I want to cause a change in the world that we live in. That's what will keep you going. That's what will keep fueling your passion. That's what will pushing you that you can't be quiet because you have a message to actually share to the world around. So you are here in this Masterful speaking program because you want to nurture that voice. You want to build up your voice. You want to nurture it. See, you have a voice, you have a message. So you are here in this program to be able to nurture it. So that when you're speaking, you are speaking life. When you are speaking with clarity, you're speaking with a lot of confidence. That is why you're here. We're not here to make you a man. We are not here just to tell you, oh, don't worry, you can do it. We want to help you nurture that your voice that you already have. So that you can inspire and cause a change in your world. So what are the things? Pay close attention. You realize that our institute is the Friendship Leadership Institute. So it's not just about the public speaking. We want you to become leaders and grow a leader's mindset. You need to start thinking like a leader that you are. And once your thought is aligned with that truth, with that fact, what follows you, even in your actions, will actually align with that. your habits. You start cultivating the leaders' habit. You can't, leave the Masterful speaking network and then outside there you do less of a leader. No, because from now henceforth, we want you to wake up to the giant that you are, so that start checking, looking forward that what are the things in my life that does not align with this title of a leader. So from now, you want to begin to check those things. And the last thing is to own the leader's skill. I mean, you cannot just be all about, oh, I just want to speak. I want to speak. You have to speak as a leader. You have to speak as someone that has been groomed to effect change in his or her world. So you have to grow the leader's mindset. You have to cultivate the leader's skill, the leader's habits, and you have to also own the leadership skills. I hope I'm making a point. Are we together?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you very much. So as I continue, I just want to open up your mind that now that you are here, what are you supposed to do? The first thing is, if you have not taken enough time to actually discover the kind of person you are before now, this is the time to do so. So that when you are coming out of this class, you are coming out to be fine as someone who's got a clear-cut message that he or she wants to deliver. They're not going about saying, I'm a masterful speaker. Can you hear masterful? That means you're a master of something. You understand? So number one is to know who you are. Who are you exactly? This period is a time to actually look inward and examine who are you, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses? Because that's just the first step to launching yourself out there as a speaker. Because a lot of things goes out there, people have different opinions, people have different values. But for you to be able to stand clean, for you to be able to stand out, you must know who you are. And apart from knowing who you are, you want to also ask yourself, what do you want out of life? What do you want out of this entire, because your life is wrapped up in one thing. Who you are, who you want out of life, and who do you want to serve with your message? Because public speaking is about a message. You're not just going every day to say, oh, I left this morning, I woke up and I'm eating now, I'm going half. No, it's not just about you telling us about your life. It's good you tell us about your life, but you need a message. And that message must be in line, must align with the kind of person you are. That's why we are coming from who you are. So who you are, what do you want out of life? Who do you want to serve? So your people coming here now, we are bringing you in between who you are and who you want to be. So the gap between who you are and who you want to be is why you are here in this Masterful Speaking program. I hope I made that clear. Who you are and who you want to be are two ends now. And we are coming in. We want to hold your ends from who you are now to that your end self, who you want to be. That's why you are here in this Masterful Speaking program. So you don't want to make out space to actually grow from who you are to who you really desire to be. So everything you need to be provided. I tell you, if you can open up your heart, engage actively with all the resources, with all the exercises, the drilling. If you can do that, by the time you're done, you would have been able to move from who you are to knowing what to do so that you can get to become the kind of person you want to be and serve your purpose in this world. So you want to make impact, this is the best place you want to be. So things are very important. Oh, three things. You need clarity, you need consistency, and you need to gain mastery. Right? That's the purpose of you being a masterful mastery. So before you can achieve this, going down to the person area about who you are, what do you want out of life, who do you want to serve, what impact do you want to make. So we are coming in between to ensure that you are clear on those things and to help you gain mastery over them. And all of this cannot be achieved if you do not engage, if you do not practice. So we are going to be providing opportunities for you to show up. We are going to be there to guide you so that you can achieve this goals. You want to set your goals. At the end of this path, what do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? I want to create a network of other speakers in this. I want to connect with them. Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. So now I want to give us some tips on how the program will go. Sorry, I'm unable to share my screen, but maybe Coach David can share the slide with us later on in the group. So we are having 3 practice tests, like a challenge. The first one is to tell the world. I think I heard Joshua talking about it. To tell the world about yourself. Hello world, this is what I do. You want to tell the world who you are. Remember, I said you want to know who you are first. So that's where that test comes in, where you want to tell the world about who you are. And the next thing after that is you want to tell us what you do. Me, I usually call that part branding and visibility. You want to brand yourself. Now, you want to brand your message. Oh, I am maybe I'm a nurse, right? So I can just come up and say, I want to speak about something as women parents, right? Or I want to talk about the young people, or I want to talk about little children and what their parents should know. So you want to come out a clear-cut message, and you want to begin to network with other people so that you can gain mileage and you can shop with that your message. And the third one also comes after that. I think, Coach David, can you remind me what the practice 3 is all about again?
Okay, practice 2 is about why people should invite you to their speaking engagements, to their events. And then the practice 3 is you trying to host an event and inviting people to take the event, like to come and participate in the event. So you're going to be hosting an event and you're going to be inviting people to come and participate.
Okay, that's it. That's just it. So we're going to take it from the first practice, second practice, third practice before the Masterful Speakers Challenge, where if you really do well, you're going to win a lot of awards. We have the most masterful speaker, the most resolute speaker, the most promising speaker, and so many other awards. A challenge here so that you can be inspired. I don't want you to approach this with, I don't have to be the best. Let me just do my part. Tell yourself, I want to be the best. Because if you eventually do not come out to be the best, you would have, through your period of practice, you would have gained a lot of skills. You would have learned a lot of things. You will not be the same because you really put your best into it. And eventually, you might just win. And winning means a whole lot of things. So I encourage you to approach it with the leader's mindset. I am going to win. At least maybe your goal will be to win 3, or I want to win everything. Fine, it's not a competition as though if I don't win, there's a problem. But tell yourself, I want to win, because winning helps you to win in other areas too. So when you win now, it tells you can also win. You know, have the winner's mindset. If you win now, it means you can also win. That's how I approach life. I just look at the previous successes that I've made. So it tells me if you do it then, that means you can do it again. So I tell myself I can do it. So this one is an opportunity for you to, to lay a foundation of success for yourself, so that you say back then in the challenge, I was the most masterful speaker. Look at leader Joshua. Up to today, is still the most masterful speaker. If I want to call him now, I would say the most masterful speaker, because the world is his own call. So you can make up your mind to also win as well. So what are the tips you need to put in mind when you are preparing for your practice exercises? The first thing I I would like to say is clarity. I've mentioned it. When you are coming out to talk to us about anything, whether why we should invite you for our programs, tell us specific things you want us to know about you. Don't come out and just talk in paragraphs. Highlight the things you want to say. Be clear. You understand? And when you're preparing your content, always engage these 3 steps: introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So no matter what you want to say, because you really don't have time. I think each of the exercise, the maximum time you can use is 7 minutes. So you want to introduce the whole idea of what you want to say, then the body. Maybe you want to give 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Then you conclude. You don't go there and say, actually, I have this to say. And the reason why people do that is because they did not prepare very well. They feel when I get there, it will flow. So even if you know it will flow, still prepare your mind and say, these are the steps I want to go through while I'm speaking. So you want to say, I will talk about this, I'll talk about that, and afterwards, this will lead me to the other. So ensure that each of the points leads into each other and then to your conclusion. Another thing is your composure and your mannerism. I see people when they are talking, well, it's good. You feel that you're talking to your friends, then you feel like, you guys, and you're just gesticulating as though you're talking to your colleagues, your mates. It's okay to do that, right? But you don't know how far that video can go. So that you will not mar your message. You can have a very good message, you can have a very good content, but you can mar it with your mannerism. You can just put people off that. Who does she think she's talking to? So you're not saying, hello, you guys. Last week, I said, no. You want to talk like a masterful speaker. Like I said, a leader. So a leader will not come to the social media and start talking, and you're not tidy with your look. You just flinging everything, and you're like, it's okay, it's my life. I want to be myself. Like people would say, they want to be themselves. They can be anyhow just because they want to be sincere. No, you don't want to be that kind of person. You want to project yourself as a leader that you are. So your mannerism, your comportment, even your gesticulation. You're not talking and then they just I'm just acting it out. You're just talking yourself in the, no, now you want to do it in a way that if it goes to CBN, if it goes to BBN, if somebody can pick that up and just talk about it anywhere. So if they have to show it anywhere, they can still approach. So you're not coming there untidy or just wearing any outfit. So you also want to dress well. As though this thing, you're talking to the whole world and you're projecting yourself like a masterful speaker. So you can wear a suit, a jacket. Some people will just wear, I don't know, best of these people. It's good, right? But talk like you're on a TED platform, a TEDx platform, or you're speaking on a TV program or anywhere. So you want to comport yourself like that. And I think you can also learn about video editing. You can learn about how to use your camera. For the purpose of this program, I'm not keeping to the rules, right? But one of those things that you can check is when you're actually doing your video, ensure that your phone is actually placed in landscape. When it's on the landscape, it's better. It's like my phone is on the landscape now. Look at how it is. Can you see how it is? It's in landscape. Look at how it looks when it's in portrait. Can you see a difference? This is portrait and this is landscape. Which is better? So I don't just make conclusion based on what I think. David, which is better?
Okay, I would give an opinion, and I wish that one of the other masterful speakers would give their opinion as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think for recording your videos for your practice exercises, landscape is better. Only that right now on
better.
the call, you may not see it, but if you just turn your phone to portrait level, we would be seeing you in the appropriate right order. There is a sort of
Yes.
anomaly that you are experiencing over there, not your fault, but maybe because of technology. So that's my own view. Is any other masterful speaker gonna give
Yeah.
a sort of opinion?
Nobody is talking, so I think we should just continue. I actually learned that too. I did a video editing class, so I learned some of these things because I wanted to do better with my um recording. So another thing I learned is to always look into the camera. Looking into the camera is going to project you as you're confident because you're going to be looking at that you're going to be able to maintain a eye contact when you actually look into the camera. The camera is usually on this side as I'm sitting down now. Before I used to think if I'm looking at the camera, it would be as though I'm looking away. But no, if I look into the camera like this and I'm talking, my eyes is going to be focused as though I'm looking into the eyes of the people I'm talking to. So all of those things are things you should consider. And even the proportion to the spaces on the left, right, top and down, there should be a symmetry. I mean, you shouldn't be somewhere on the edge or somewhere down and there's space all over. So it should be somewhere centrally placed in the field, the recording field. So there's so many things to put in mind when you're actually recording your video. Your clarity, your time management is also important. You don't have to say everything all in one day, right? But when you actually put out your points before coming out to record, it will help you to keep track of your time. Your mannerism is also very important. Your dressing is important as well. So, and like I already said, you need to approach all of this with all seriousness. So, we have a chat room already. People showing up. It tells me really you can also do it. You know, talk about people like Mr. Peter, people like what's the name of our certified talkative? What's his name again?
Arnold best days.
Yes, that man has been a great motivation. And he's so consistent. And it's not like it's just about the consistency. Whatever he shares is usually intellectually stimulating. So by the time he engaged in his chat room, and then there was a day he sent a picture and he told us to talk about our opinion. People have different opinions. I mean, I'm sure you knew it came to very beautiful conclusions. So it's also helping you in approaching life. Like recently, like 2 days ago, somebody posted a picture and he said, where are the White House that we should talk? I wanted to walk away that what was my business? I don't have anything to do with that post. But then I thought, let me engage my brain. Let me provoke my creativity because I know I can do it. I started writing, and then I wrote beautiful lines in a very short time, and I sent it to her. She was like, "Wow, so beautiful! That's life for you." If you shy away from interacting with other people, engaging with the resources that you have in the community, you might not grow past yourself. You might not grow beyond what you know. But leveraging on that network might open up your mind. I mean, you will widen your horizon. You understand? Your creativity will be provoked. The way they will take you out of this world, they will take you out of the box. Because people like Speaker Ophidio Goodness, you come with their own points, our own view. Masterful Speaker Joshua will come with his own. Then Coach David will now cap it up with his own view. It has always been beautiful. So you should engage in the group. Another thing is practice. Apart from these three practices that we have here, you shouldn't limit yourself to those practices. I have to confess to you, when I'm in my room, I practice every now and then. I'm in the kitchen, I'm talking to myself. I really don't know. People might find it annoying, abnormal, but sorry, that's how it is for me. Because I've always been practicing that I was a very smart child. I want to one of these days be on a big platform where maybe we have the US president, where we have a lot of people, and they will say, oh, we have a very young, because I'm going to be young, right? We have a very young woman here that is from Nigeria, and she wants to speak. That's what I keep dreaming every day. So right in the bathroom, in the kitchen, I tell myself, when you want to introduce yourself, how do you say? I can never be caught unawares anywhere in the world because I've always been practicing. I will just go to the mirror and I'll tell myself, yeah, I am. And then it keeps flowing. Sometimes I get caught. So what I'm saying is practice, keep practicing and keep practicing until you're there and keep showing up. But David said something recently about showing up. Showing up, putting up the content out there. It's not just for the sake of people seeing you. Seeing you is just a kind of validation, right? Validation. Seeing people seeing you as the likes and the comment is just a validation, like an external motivation. But really, you know what it does to you? It tells you you can do it again and again. And because you want to put it out there, I am confident that everybody can see it. You're putting your best into it. You check and keep checking. How you know it? I mean, sometimes when I pick a new idea and I'm working on it, because I want to put it out there, I'm inspired. I don't know where I come from, and then I begin to develop the point, and then it's just come up as something beautiful, and I put it out there. Sometimes people might not get to like it, but I'm creating, let's say, an intellectual property for myself that generations to come, they will think, oh, there was, you understand? So when I'm less busy, I just go through my page, not to see the comments, not my thoughts, to see, if things that I'm practicing it. So it's all well and good. Practicing showing up, not just for the sake of the visibility, because it will come with time and it will come. But then it has to bring out the best in you as the leader that you are, as the masterful speaker that you are. So I'm looking at what to leave you how with today. I already mentioned the fact that see your word as a seed, the word that you speak as a seed that can inspire people to life, that can cause a revolution in this world. If you see yourself like that, you won't take this speaking platform for granted. You won't take your public speaking career for granted because you have a voice. It's a tool of change. Your word is a tool of change. What is the way it is today? Because some people they have solutions, but they cannot speak out. So people, if everybody is speaking the right, is saying the right thing, the word they speak is life. The word will not be the same. So see yourself, not just I'm a master and a speaker. No, ensure that the word that you speak out of your mouth every day aligns with the kind of person you want to be and change you want to see in your word. You are not talking about saying positive change, and then when you come out to speak, or maybe you have any opportunity, not even on social media, maybe a friend is engaging you, and then you're the one speaking, and you're speaking things that cannot add value, things that if is to be projected, it cannot cause the revolution is all desired. It cannot cause the change. It is not being projected. Maybe your DM just comes to you for something, and then you're just talking anyhow, using words that's supposed to be just because you feel people cannot see. No, anywhere you find yourself, have the leader's mindset. You are a tool of change, and your voice is the most important tool because people will not judge you by how beautiful you are. Fine, it's okay to be beautiful, to be gorgeous. But by the time they look at you, oh, so beautiful, and then the first word you speak is out of it. Anything you say, anything you do afterwards is not going to add up. So be very careful. The thoughts, your actions, your habits, everything must align with the kind of person that you want to be, with the masterful speaker that you want to be, because you have a message to share with the world, and it has to come up. Clean be a better place. Thank you so much for the privilege of speaking today. Thank you, Coach David, for having me around.
Wow, thank you so much, Masterful Speaker, Nurse Omowumi Fadairo, the health advocate. Yeah, Masterful Speakers, engage the chat section and just in a word, talk about how the delivery was. How would you describe the session with Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo? And I know you guys are not enjoying my voice. I have catarrh, so the musical quality of my voice is gone.
So sad.
Yeah, and I've been kind of down with fever. So, oh, so someone says that she loves your flow.
Thank you so much.
Masterful Speaker Shalom says she loves your passion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So, Masterful Speakers, any questions at all? Now, here is the way we do it. Let me just, this is an introductory class, as you know. So, the training has not really started fully, but you have to be here to make sense of the entire training. So, captivating is what Masterful Speaker Precious is saying.
Yeah.
So, as soon as as soon as a speaker is done, you'll be given an opportunity to either make a contribution or ask a question or say nothing. So there are 3 words that you have to pick from. So it's either you say question, or you say or you say contribution, or you say nothing. So go into the chat section, every one of us. Let's go to the chat section and type either question or contribution or nothing. So if you have nothing to say, type nothing. Thank you so much, Masterful Speaker Ayomide.
Thank you.
If you have a question, type question. We are going to give you the opportunity to unmute yourself and speak to our coach tonight. If you have like a contribution to make, type contribution. We're going to give you the mic. But if you really don't have anything to say, you can just type nothing, and that's not a problem. Type the word nothing. Don't go yet. I will still give a sort of introductory speech in a few minutes. All right, I can see nobody's typing nothing, nobody's typing question, nobody's typing contribution. Like you are not allowed to just be silent. They understand. Okay, good. Okay, Shalom said she would like to ask a question when the class begins fully. All right, no problem. That was a wonderful delivery by Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo. Could we just unmute ourselves and say, let's all unmute ourselves and say, thank you, Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo. Unmute yourselves and say, thank you, Masterful Speaker Omowumi Fadairo. Let's go.
Thank you, Masterful Speaker. Thank you. Thank you, Masterful Speaker Omowumi.
I can see that McCaffrey was having a sort of challenge over there pronouncing the name. So you guys should connect so that she will get some training on how to pronounce a Yoruba name. She's all the way from Ghana. So I can imagine why it's a bit challenging for her. So yeah, let us all mute ourselves back. Let's mute ourselves so that we can have a beautiful time. So, Emmanuel said, "Thanks for the powerful introductory session." Emmanuel, this name is looking a bit strange to me. So I don't know if we've connected, but if you've not connected, make sure you reach out to me after this class tonight so that we can get a talk. But thank you so much for your beautiful contribution. I'm gonna run. Okay, I have just a couple of things to cover this evening. I want to introduce you guys to what it means to be a masterful speaker. If you're a masterful speaker, there are three tenets that you must keep to. I used to call them three things, but of recent, I have called them three tenets that you've got to keep to. But before I get to those three tenets, I want to begin by letting you know that there are at least five things you ought to focus on achieving if you really want to be effective as a communicator, either as a writer or a speaker. You can even say maybe even as a leader. So there are five C's of effective communication. Five C's of effective communication. Number one is clarity. Number two is confidence. Number three is creativity. Number four is consistency. And number five is credibility. Number one, clarity. Number two, confidence. Number three, creativity. Number four, consistency. And number five, credibility. Those are the things you want to aim for whenever you're trying to communicate so that you can sound as effectively as possible. So those are the things I want you guys to aim for. I wouldn't want to go into deep analysis of those things today because I have spoken about them in the time past, and I have an old teaching on that on several platforms. Maybe I'll just try to send a link to you guys on that. But the whole idea of being a clear speaker is that you want to be exact. So it's about exactness and precision. So if you say that there are two pillars of clarity, exactness and precision. Exactness is saying what you mean and meaning what you say. While precision is the ability for you to say what you say in a way that it cannot be misunderstood. So you are precise with what you're saying. So those are the two things you need to aim for if you must be clear. So in all of your presentation, you want to communicate with exactness and precision to be clear. The second is confidence. And you see, confidence actually comes when you know that people consider you as valuable. Let me tell you this, the very fact that you are a masterful speaker sets you very high in society, because immediately as you're introduced as a speaker to people, they have in their minds that this must be somebody who has committed himself or herself to the careful development of how to persuade people and drive change with words that are beautifully spoken, words that are well thought out, words that are carefully strung together. So there is an assumption in the mind of your audience, and as soon as you ascend a platform, you need to rise beyond that expectation or the assumption that the people have. But if you treat yourself as though the people are not going to value you, then you erode the confidence that the people have in you, and you destroy the confidence that you need to actually communicate with the people who have come to listen to you. So the first thing is for you to believe that people value you for yourself. The second thing is to believe that people want to hear what you've got to say. Like, what you've got to say is valuable, that it will transform the lives of people. And that's why you have to be a deeply thinking speaker. Because when you are deeply thinking, you are going into depths that most people never go into. Many people never think. That's the problem with people in society. If people could be thinking for themselves, they would not have so much problems in their life, but people have so much problems in their lives because they are not thinking for themselves. So, as speakers, there is a sense in which we become the think tank of society. We are the ones helping people to think through the challenges that they are facing. And for that reason, people want to listen to us because they know that they could get a quality of thought from us that they normally or just naturally do not reach into. I am getting distracted by Chidema Fsiba's microphone that is on. Sorry about that. I'm getting my feedback from Chidema. All right, so I was talking. Let me try to mute Chidema. Sorry. So let us move to consistency. Yeah, I've taken care of that, Masterful Speaker Geoffrey. Let's talk about creativity. Now, in creativity, you see how fast I'm moving here. When it comes to creativity, there are three things you want to keep in mind. And these are like the three manifestations of creativity in speech. Okay, there are many other manifestations, but these are three for starters. Number one, you want to bring a first fresh impression to whatever you're talking about. Let me give you an example. Earlier this year, when NYC opened their orientation camp, I was invited to speak to the core members over here in the Oyo State orientation camp. I was to talk to them on the day they were going to begin their skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program. And so I was invited to be the motivational speaker of the day. If you guys know me long enough, you will know that I'm not a motivational speaker. Yeah, I am the Masterful Speakers coach. I'm a conference speaker. I am not all too motivational. I'm a thinker, okay? That does not mean you cannot get motivated by what I say, but I do not speak with the mind to just motivate you and pump you up. Regardless, I was invited and I loved the opportunity. Regardless of whatever I was invited to come and talk to the people on, I just loved the opportunity that I was going to be able to interact with people and I was going to be able to say something that would transform one or two persons' lives. So on getting there, you know, the natural or the regular narrative, not the natural narrative, the regular narrative when you have to talk to people on entrepreneurship in Africa is to tell the people there are no jobs. As a masterful speaker, you know people well enough that if you tell people things that are cliches, you lose them because they see you as unimaginative. So I made up my mind. I'm going to bring a fresh impression to this subject. I'm not going to tell them that there are no jobs. Because in a sense, I don't even believe in that reality. I'm an entrepreneur, so you can imagine if you are telling people there are no jobs, you can imagine that I don't believe you. I believe that there are people who, you know, rather than starting their own thing, if there is no job opening, they can start a job and they can get themselves a job and then they can get other people to work. They can create jobs for other people. So I don't believe that there are no jobs. Okay, so I went there and you know what I told them as a reason they should listen to me? I told them, and because this was going to appeal to them immediately, they were in the orientation camp. So my whole thesis for that speech that day was this. Let me tell you why it's very important that you take your skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program very seriously. The reason is this. If you must have a fulfilling service year, you have to go through your service year with a great feeling of dissatisfaction. Yes, I know that was mysterious, but that's because I'm a masterful speaker. As a masterful speaker, I want to tell people, I want to bring a fresh impression to the matter. I'd already succeeded. I'd brought a fresh impression. I wasn't going to go the natural narrative or the regular narrative of there are no jobs. They've heard that before. They are tired of hearing that. In fact, while I was there at that event that very day, a lot of people had told them there are no jobs. So when I told them that, I had them repeat it after me. And then I said to them, do you know the meaning of what I've just told you? And I could see the look on their faces. And the question on their mind was, what do you mean? And so I had to explain to them what I meant by that. And I know you too, you want to know what I meant by that. But that's beyond the scope of this class. Okay, so you have to live without dissatisfaction. Okay, so there is a fresh impression that you've got to bring to whatever you're talking about. The second is a fresh description. So let's say you do not succeed in getting a fresh impression. For me, I think I always succeed in getting a fresh impression. I am kind of naturally controversial as a speaker because I don't like to go the way that most people go. Uh, when I was back in school, I figured that many of my colleagues were going to talk in their IT seminar presentation about hyperglycemia, that's high blood pressure. Do you know what I did? I went hypoglycemia, then I actually picked a very interesting subject. I said hypoglycemia in infants because I know everybody was talking about hyperglycemia, that's hypertension in adults. So I went the other way, hypoglycemia in infants. And as soon as I projected my topic, the lecturers wanted to hear because that wasn't something most people were talking about. I was the only one who presented on hypoglycemia that very day. But you could see a lot of hyperglycemia and all of that. So it's been a natural instinct for me. I figure out where is society going and I go the opposite direction. So I'm not saying you should be exactly like me. That's just my method. So so I'm just trying to say that if you go that way, definitely you'll always bring a fresh impression to any subject. So for example, we tell you in this class, we'll tell you the proper way to kill your fear of public speaking is not to target killing your fear of public speaking. And then you're like, Coach David, what do you mean? Yeah, the only reason you're asking me what do you mean is because that's a fresh impression. You've never really heard that before. Okay, so that's creativity in speaking. The second is fresh description. So let's say that you couldn't bring a sort of fresh impression to your subject, and maybe you're going with the regular impression that people will always bring. So let's go back to um, our issue of there are no jobs. So rather than saying there are no jobs, you could try to describe this very there are no jobs by telling certain stories or by making some anecdotal statements. I want to get that word properly, anecdotal, some anecdotal statements. So you could paint an imaginary picture about the kind of pain that people feel from the absence of job opportunities. Let's say you believe that. So you could tell stories, you could use illustrations. But you know what? Don't let it be that you are one of those speakers telling people there are no jobs. Let people feel after you have told them the stories and painted the mental pictures for them that, oh my God, I've got to get serious. It's like there are no jobs. You get the point, right? So a fresh description. And then finally, on the creativity, fresh expression. So there is fresh impression, fresh description, and fresh expression. For me, I try to put everything when I'm speaking. So I try to make sure that everything is intact. Fresh impression, fresh expression, fresh description. But just in case you fail in two of those, never fail in one of those. And the one you should never fail in is fresh expression. In other words, you have to be finding new ways to say what people have often said. So that is what it means for you to bring a fresh expression to the table. So those are three things I've told you. I've told you that you have to aim at clarity, second, confidence, third, creativity, the fourth is consistency. Oh my God. Consistency now. I can demonstrate it with the list I've been given to you so far. Look at the first word in this list that I've given to you. Clarity, right? That's the first word. Now, is clarity a verb or a noun? Without wasting much time, let me just tell you, clarity is a noun. Is confidence a verb, an adverb, or a noun? Without wasting your time, confidence is a noun. Is creativity a verb or a noun or an interjection or a conjunction or a verb? As you know, is a noun. Is consistency a noun? Yes, consistency is a noun. So the fifth thing I told you earlier is credibility. Is credibility a noun? Yes, credibility is a noun. Now look at this 5 stuff that we've got on this list. Notice that all of them are nouns. The first is not a verb, and then the second an adjective, and the third a noun, and the fourth a conjunction, and the fifth an interjection. So when you are making your list, there is a sense in which there has to be consistency in the making of your list. And if you could allow me to go back to the third point about creativity, look at the way the list is structured. There is alliteration and then there is rhymes. So you know what alliteration is, right? Alliteration is when the first consonant sounds actually the first consonant sounds are together. You get a point. So there is a sense in which there is a union between the first consonant sound between several words. So you can see all of them are starting with C's. That's a sort of creativity when you are speaking. And then there is a kind of rhyme in this list. You see, the only one that is not rhyming is confidence. But there is a way I could make this list rhyme. I could say speak clearly. Then I could say speak confidently. Then I would say speak creatively. Then I would say speak consistently. Then I would say speak credibly. So you can see it rhymes that way, or they rhyme. Okay, so I have given you a demonstration of consistency. Consistency also has to do with your flow. There has to be a consistent flow to you when you're speaking. Don't break too much. Don't break and keep quiet. It can get boring that way. So I really want to encourage you. Let there be some energy. Let there be some passion. Don't speak like I'm speaking tonight. Okay, I'm only feeling the fever. That's why I'm speaking this totally too calm. And then the fifth thing that I have to share with you is credibility. I've always told my masterful speakers, if it's not truthful, then it's not masterful. If it's not credible, it's not powerful. If it's not truthful, it's not masterful. If it's not credible, it's not powerful. So that was what I want to tell you tonight. So masterful speakers speak the truth. We live in a post-truth world, and people tell people lies in order to just motivate them. We are not like that. As masterful speakers, we tell people the truth. So our job as masterful speakers is to go seize the lie in society, hang the lie, kill the lie, take the garment of disguise, which is the garment of truth that the lie has clothed itself with for a very long time, and find the truth and adorn the truth in such a glorious apparel and present the truth in the most persuasive, most beautiful manner to a world that is hungry for truth, even though they can't find it. So if you speak the truth to people, they will never forget you, because not many people are speaking the truth. So that's why, as an organization, we don't want to lie to you. We are not yet the #1 speaking institute in Nigeria. We are hoping to be, but we are not yet. So we are not gonna lie to you, okay? So we're going to tell you the truth. We have our challenges. And when you come in, you will know that we have our challenges. But the truth is, regardless of our challenges, we are going to do our best to give you the very best. So that's the truth. All right. So now three tenets, and then we'll be done of you becoming a masterful speaker. And these are the things that you keep hearing over and again, and they have to be in your mind. So I want you guys to go to the chat section, all of you. I want all of you to go to the chat section and just type right now. Number one, deeply thinking. Deeply thinking. Number two, frankly speaking. And number three, audience lifting. So there is a sense in which you need to say to yourself tonight that you're a masterful speaker because you've committed to being deeply thinking, being frankly speaking, and being audience lifting. So yeah, good. Thank you so much, masterful speakers. I'm enjoying the interaction. Great. So yeah, those are the things that you have to commit yourself to be indeed a masterful speaker. So I want to encourage you, commit yourself to those things. To be deeply thinking means that you know that you have a four-dimensional mind. There is a depth to your mind, right? And you can reach that depth with the power of questions. Ask a lot of questions of things in society. If you're invited to give a talk and they give you a subject to talk on, ask a lot of questions on that subject. That way you'll be able to go deep and deep and deep and deep. In fact, the way we say it here is that there is always a why for the why for the why for the why for the why. So there is a sense in which you have to go about 5 levels of inquiry to get beyond your bias, to get to the very depths, to the core problem that the people in your audience might be facing, to get to the main solution that people would find very helpful. So you have to keep on asking a lot of questions. So that's how to dig into the very depth of your mind. So your mind is a 4-dimensional mind. It has a depth to it. Your mind is a 4-dimensional mind. It has a length to it. So there is a sense in which you, from this day, will become a student of history. You are going as far back. Whatever subject you are asked to present, you want to know what brought about this reality into the human experience. So you want to study the history of that thing. You want to get into the present and figure out what exactly is the issue as regards the subject in the current time. And then you want to make some projections about the future. So that's the length of your mind. It reaches far back into the past and it's deeply rooted into the present. And then it is far-reaching into the future. And I promise you, if you can be this kind of speaker with a length to it, a deeply thinking speaker who has a length to the mind, when you die, you would not be dead, because though dead, you will still be speaking. Your words will influence a lot of people. The words that you put on the page, or the words that you speak into a camera, or the words that are recorded at an event that you speak at. So there is not only a depth or a length to your mind, there is also a breadth to your mind. And that has to do with you reading widely. Now, you've heard that if you cannot read widely, read wisely. Okay, that's a good thing. But masterful speakers do both. They read widely and they read wisely. So you read wisely and you read widely. Let me tell you what it means to read wisely. Now, the reason some people do not read wisely is because they are not reading to do things in their life. As a speaker, you read to survive. So there is a sense in which there is a project at hand that you are reading towards. There is a speech you are preparing for, and then you've got to read. So there is a wise reading, there is a purposeful reading. You are going through a difficult moment in your life. The next thing you want to do is to read up, right? You want to pray. If you're like a believer in God, you want to pray, right? So you read wisely and you read widely, but you want to read. You want to read. You see, I've always described reading as experiencing the experience of the experienced, experiencing the experience of the experienced. That's what reading or studying or researching is. So that as a speaker, when you acquire the experiences of other people, they're now your own experience, because your own experience is that you have gone in search for their experience. So you have experienced their experience. So when you study, when you read, when you know, under when you research something, you are experiencing the experience of the experienced. So that brings a sort of breadth to your mind. In fact, some people are always surprised. Like, you can engage me in any form of conversation, and at least I will have something to say about it. So, and that's simply because, and see, let me complete that statement. Don't be ever caught not completing a statement. And that's simply because, I do my very best to read and to pay attention to a lot of people. Now, let me tell you something. You not only need to read books, you can read people. Get interested in people. People who you think are not even as smart as you are. Get interested. Because you know what? If you don't study people who are not as smart as you are, then who are the people you're going to be helping? You are helping people who are not as smart as you are. So if you're not paying attention, if you're not reading them, you will not understand them very well. And if you don't understand them very well, you can help them. So you have to read people who are not as smart as you are. You have to read people who are as smart as you are. And you have to read people who are smarter than you are. So that will bring a breadth to your mind. Then there is an height to your mind. This height to your mind, as a masterful speaker, is mostly demonstrated in the most popular speech ever given in history. And as you know, it's debatably, I have a dream. I have a dream. Towards the end of that speech, there was that recurring theme of I have a dream, that refrain, that constant outpouring of the dream that Martin Luther had for the future of the Negroes in America. And towards the end of that speech, what Martin Luther King Jr. succeeded in doing was that he lifted the spirits of those slaves. So as masterful speakers, we have a height to our mind. There is an optimism. There is a high-mindedness, in this case, not of pride, but of optimism, of aspiration, so that we swell the hearts of the people we speak to with hope. In fact, it has been said, I think it was even Martin Luther King Jr. who said it, that leaders are dealers of hope. So we deal hope to people as speakers. So that was enough for deep thinking. And I think I've used deep thinking to cover almost everything. Okay, so let's move on to frank speaking. And I've covered that already. So be frankly speaking. But I need to make a comment here. Frank speaking has got a bad rap because of people who claim to be frankly speaking, but they are vitriolically very critical. They speak acidic words that burn people's hearts, that quench people's spirits, all in the name of being frank speaking. A masterful speaker doesn't want to be that way. A masterful speaker wants to be as frankly speaking as much as he or she is audience lifting. And that's why we say it this way. I'm a masterful speaker because I am deeply thinking, frankly speaking, and yet. So we often say, and yet audience lifting. So you want to bring your audience to the light. You want to bring them to the light at the end of the tunnel. Even though what you're talking about is is grim, is totally terrible, it's destructive, and it's something that nobody should rejoice about. Towards the end, you want to beam a bright light of hope upon them. You want to cause the day star to arise in their hearts. So towards the end of your speeches, always kind of do your best to bring some sort of hope. Sometimes it's excitement. You understand? It's you like, are you not excited about that? It's you bringing them to that point of real excitement. Other times, it's the fact that what you're talking about or the context in which you are talking is such a melancholy context. Like people are depressed. It's such a depressing situation. In that case, you don't want to bring them to a place where they are pumped with excitement, but you want to leave them with solemn hope. You get the point. So that is it exactly. So those are the things you need to keep to. And I promise you, as we start getting our trainers from Friday, the next class is going to be on Friday. As we start getting our trainers from Friday, and then the next class is going to be on Saturday after Friday. And then I'm going to release the curriculum to you guys tomorrow so that you can keep track of your time. The time is always 7 p.m. Nigerian time. If you're in Ghana, that will be 6 p.m. If you're in South Africa, that will be 8 p.m. If you're in Sierra Leone, that would be 9 p.m. If you are in Ukraine, that would be like 9 p.m. as well in Ukraine. So that is it. So it's been wonderful chatting with you guys tonight. If you have any question, you can leave it for me in the chat room. I'm actually losing total energy. But it's been wonderful talking with you guys. So I could just step back right now, okay? And if you guys have anything to say, maybe like a contribution, maybe not even questions, or if you have a question, anyone in the house can answer the question for you. And I'll just step back right now. Thank you. Thank you, Masterful Speaker Omowumi. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So thank you, everybody. Let's unmute ourselves and kind of say good night to everybody. And then let's continue the interaction in the chat room. So everybody unmute yourself and say good night.
So amazing. A high opening.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.